Good morning, everybody. This is Bob Iacchino along with Mike Arnold. This is an AM Pat Chat covering the FX markets for June 8th. It is Thursday's day of reckoning on a couple of levels. The polls have been open now in the UK for about 6 hours, and we're not going to get any official polling results, exit polling results, which are usually a few seats off from the actual final tallies in terms of Parliament. We're not going to get that for quite a few hours at this point, not official stuff. So far, what I'm hearing is that the Conservative Party is hanging on to the 7.6 point lead that they had in the very last poll that I saw before the polls opened. So that was, I don't know, probably an hour before the polls opened that this thing was released, and it showed a 7.6 point lead, so a little bit of a pop for the Conservative Party of Theresa May just before the polls opened. So we'll see how accurate that is, but right now we've got nothing reliable coming out. We've got James Comey today. Everyone knows that before the Senate Intelligence Committee. That will probably go on for 4 or 5 hours. It's starting at about 9 a.m., could be delayed. Whole point of that, did the president try and obstruct justice? That's really it. Are there impeachable offenses that Comey has in his memos? There's definitely uncomfortable moments described in the pre-release statement. But we'll see. The senators on the left will do the obvious. The senators on the right will do the obvious. There's not a whole lot that we need to talk to about that. In terms of economic data, the good thing about FX is we do have things that have moved the markets that happened overnight that are not U.S.-centric. We had the release of Japan's Economic Watchers Survey. The current outlook and the future outlook both topped the estimates, 48.6 on the current versus 48.5 expected, 49.6 on the future outlook versus 49.3 expected. Swiss unemployment rate came in as expected, 3.1 versus 3.1. German industrial production came out, 2.9 versus an expectation of 2.1. And the Swiss consumer price index year over year also beat, although it's very low, 0.5 increase over an expectation of 0.3. Lastly, year over year, first quarter final for Eurozone gross domestic product, 1.9% versus 1.7% expected. We have the European Central Bank rate decision coming out at 6:45, along with any changes in quantitative easing, which we do not expect at this point, based on Mario Draghi's recent comments in the news. He essentially has said things like, we need to push inflation a little bit more before we make any changes. I'm paraphrasing. There's no quote that says that. Don't forget, that's coming out 6:45 a.m. Central Time, 7:30 Central Time. He'll hold a press conference, so that's where he'll definitely get pushed. It's more important than the actual rate decision, unless there's some surprise, which we don't usually get. We haven't gotten in quite a while out of the ECB. Prior to that, 7:15, Canadian housing starts for May, and the new home price index for May in Canada. That's a year over year. And then 7:30 Central Time, U.S. jobless claims and continuing claims expected to, again, both be a little bit lower than previous, 240K on the jobless claims and 1.920 million on the continuing claims. Later on in the day, Bank of Canada is releasing its financial systems review, the equivalent of the U.S. stress tests. Don't expect any surprises out of that either. And then tonight, 6:30 Central Time, Chinese consumer price index year over year and producer price index year over year. 1.5% expected on consumer, 5.6% expected on producer prices. Japan's tertiary index, their industry tertiary index month over month, 30 minutes before midnight, and that is it. All of the focus will be on the UK election, which again, you're not going to get the solid real results till about 10 p.m. Central Time. But the James Comey hearing will be going on in the meantime to keep you all occupied. Having said all that, let me turn it over to Mike to let you know what he is seeing on the charts. Mike, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Bob. So, Euro, US dollar. We have very significant resistance up here right around this 112.85 level, tested multiple times, not yet tested up there today. But if we do rally back up and get through today's highs, which are so far 112.69, We might have some minor resistance right around the 112.77, but major resistance is going to come in at the 112.85. So those should be any targets to the upside. If that is broken to the upside, next level is 113.09 to 113.13 and then 113.28. Pulled back a bit today so far, sitting right now at a significant level, coming in about 112.36. The lows are right around 112.29. So that'll be the first area of support. And if that's broken, watch for a possible retest of tomorrow's lows, 112.04. Then if that's broken, we're watching for 111.95 and then key support coming in at the bottom of our rotation zone, coming in about 111.80 area. Over to the pound US dollar. So there probably won't be a lot of movement in this until we start getting election results, but so far we've pushed to most recent swing highs just above our 129.62 level. If we do rally back up, watch for resistance right around 129.77 to 80. And then if we get above that, we're watching for 129.97 to 130 as the key targets the upside. On a very strong rally, we still have a defining point coming in at 130.43, and then the last swing high coming in at 130.47. So those will be major upside targets should we have a strong rally. If it pulls back more, 129.30 is the next key level. Then we're looking to return to some key prior support and a rising rotation zone area, 129.11. The bottom of the rotation zone, 128.99. And on a bigger fall, we'd be watching for 128.77. Switching over to the US dollar, Japanese yen. 2-day up move so far. If it continues to push higher, first watch for retest of today's highs, 110.14. Then we have a declining 8 and significant level all coming in about the 110.24 to 110.27 area. If we rally through that GAN cluster, 110.42 to 110.47, and that would kiss this old trend line goodbye, which is still not a redraw yet. If we pull back, going to be some minor support right around the 109.69 to 74 area. Then we'd be looking for a retest of today's lows and a couple of days ago closed area, which comes in about 109.38. If that is broken, a retest of the most recent swing low, 109.11. US dollar, Swiss franc. So far rallied up, tested the 12.5% gain level, 96.74 area, which it also tested yesterday. If we do rally through that area, 96.94 is going to be key. Then we're looking for 97.08. Then on a very strong rally, 97.29. If we pull back, we do have support right around the 96.50 area right in here. If we break through that, 96.39, and then we'd be looking for a retest of these key closes and lows, 96.19 to 96.06 area down here, which is also 96.06 is a significant level. Aussie US dollar pausing from its pretty substantial rally so far inside day today. If it does head higher, going to have some resistance coming in at 75.66, so that should be the first target to 75.68, so 68 to 66 area to the upside. That is broken. We're watching for 75.86. On a pullback, this flattening 200 a couple days ago high is going to be key, 75.22 to 75.28 area. And then if we break down through that, 74.93 is going to be key. And that's what we're watching for in the Aussie US dollar. US dollar, Canadian dollar, so far narrow range. Also today, going to have some resistance near yesterday's highs, 135.25. If we get through that, 135.40 to our defining point, 135.47. So the 40 to 47 area is going to be key resistance. So for any short-term trades, that can be a target area. If we do get through our defining point, we could see a rally to the 135.79 to 135.87 area where we have two different Gann levels coming in. And then we'd watch for the end of this single candle clear path coming in at 136.10. If we do pull back, support coming in at 134.91. Then the next key levels are 134.81 to 84, where we have dueling Gann levels. If we fall through that, we can see a move down to 134.37, which we have a lot of very key lows, and we have a rising trend line coming in there. Finally, over to US dollar Mexican peso. Slight rally up yesterday. So far, moving lower today. If we do continue lower, 16.29 is going to be the first level of support, which is yesterday's lows. And that's just slightly below the prior day's lows also. If we do break through there, next major area, Gann projection, 18.0806. And then if we get through there, 17.9983. If we rally back up, first level of resistance is coming in around 18.2938, followed by 18.3056. Higher than that, we have another Gann level, 18.3274. Then we'd be looking to return to this trend line area, which at this point is coming in about 18.3619. That's all we have for you. Turning it back over to you, Bob.
Thank you, Michael. Just thought it's important to throw in one last thing that I'm noticing coming across my desk just now is the Bank of Japan said it was collaborating its communications to acknowledge it's considering how to handle a future exit from monetary policy stimulus. That to me is not something we've talked about before because Japan has been at it for so long. So you're going to see that affect the yen quite a bit if that actually happens. They're not saying there's going to be an exit, just how they should handle it when and if the time comes. That's actually a seismic shift. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you guys in the next Path Chat. Hit like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. Cheers, everyone.